This is Between Hook Sets. I'm Chasen Walter from In Through the Outdoors with my partner in slime, Curt Underhill from the fishing crew.
What is that? Dude, you completely threw me off, man. When I saw the opposite hand moving, I'm like, what is he doing?
Can't talk with my mouth full. That'd be rude.
Oh, yeah, you threw me off. Wonder how many other people you threw off. Oh my God, peanut butter and bologna.
It is April Fool's, and this is the truth. Here's the thing. You're going to have to do some talking or play that video, and I'm going to eat my sandwich because I'm not going to let that good peanut butter and bologna sandwich go to waste. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah. Oh, man, well.
Well, wait a minute. Was that Uncle Lou?
Yep.
Uncle Lou, how do you do?
Yeah. So,
tonight, a little out of sorts. We've had great guests. Holy crap. I mean, the guests have been truly amazing, and it would have been fun to have another guest, but it's April Fool's. We've got a foot and a half of snow out here in Mobridge. April Fool's. We got like 3 inches, whatever. Good evening, sir.
Trapper.
Yep, that's Trapper. I'm honestly in the mood for just an hour of conversating. Talking about, like you said, you're the one that you promoted this whole thing. We're going to talk about fishing 2026, right? So I hope that we have people like Trapper and whoever that get in on the comments and we can have a conversation that goes this way and one that goes this way and basically follows the walleye from Pollock all the way down to the dam.
Yeah, so. I mean, it's going to be, the 2026 season has started. MWC got their first one done, last weekend last weekend, I think it was in the Illinois River. Yep. And now we got Easter, and then Wednesday or Thursday, Friday, FNWT, and then we kick off Cedar Shores. And it's a go time. I mean, It feels like we just got done with the fall brawl. And now we're here getting ready for Cedar Shores. Still spots available in Cedar Shores, Sharp Showdown. So hop in those. We got Pike Masters coming up. We got a new one on Big Stone. If you're a bass guy, Big Stone Bass Bash over there. So, yeah.
So let me ask you quick. Don Nacho, Julio, who...
Don Nacho?
Don Nacho.
I'll let the guests... our audience guess who is Don Nacho.
It took me a little bit, but I'm getting it. I think I got it.
So, hot off the press, important news coming in right here.
Huh? I'm not going to miss not fishing the tour this year.
I'm going to miss not fishing the tour this year.
Whoa.
So the Trapper is not fishing.
You're out of the National Walleye Tour this year? Okay, do tell, dude.
Brian, how you doing, buddy? Getting ready to head out to Lake Erie. Yeah, we're going to miss you.
Makes sense. Yeah, you know what? That makes sense. I understand. If he's going to do the National Walleye Tour, then Cedar Shore's out.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's always so many weekends and scheduling conflicts happen. But yeah, NWT heading to Lake Erie. It's going to be... Whew. I know one young gentleman that's already there.
Yep, right on.
He left Monday.
He did leave Monday. Okay.
Drove all the way, slept in his pickup the first night. And I happened to be with his dad, or he left Sunday, slept in his pickup Sunday night. Monday morning, I happened to be with his dad. We called him and he said, "How's it going?" And he's like, "Well, do not type in boat dock or boat marina or launch here." And because it takes you to, it takes you to a marina and there's nowhere to put your boat in. So,
Oh God, really?
and he's chiming in. All I've done is broke stuff and got wet. So yeah,
Well, that's one way to start the season.
And Chad asked him what he thought, and he said, "This thing is huge."
It's an ocean, man. I mean, it's an ocean. Well, I'm still excited, no matter what. I mean, conquer, right?
Here's Trapper's. Here's Trapper's. Go ahead and read that.
Okay, so Trapper says, got some business to focus on, selling the company, becoming general manager of it, and building nonprofit trip and teaching dads how to take kids on fishing trips. He's going to be around, but he's got other things. There's a calling there. That's, good for you. God bless you.
Yeah,
Trapper.
that's awesome.
That's truly amazing. I mean, it really is. Here's the deal. The National Walleye Tour will wait for you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So,
National Walleye Tour kicks off. Then they come to Mobridge in May.
uh-huh.
That's going to be a fun one. Going to be an interesting one. But yeah, so we got a ton of events kicking off. We start off next weekend with Cedar Shore, followed by Pike Masters the weekend after, followed by Sharp Showdown the weekend after that, and followed up with Big Stone. And then we get into a couple. We got our Fermonic Electric tournament in June that we're running for, or in end of May.
Yeah, that's a big one for you guys.
Yep. And then the new the South Dakota Bass Cup the first weekend in June. Then we'll be in your neighborhood in Mobridge for Denny Palmer. Still spots in Denny Palmer, getting that one as well. And then we're back in Pierre for the Black Hills Home Builders Association tournament. And then we're on to Gov Cup and Fall Brawl. So it's going to be a busy summer, but you might get your sandwich out because we got, I shared it, but we got something new we got asked to be doing this year. And if anybody's interested in helping out as a professional boat guy, in donations in kind or, product to donate, this is going to be a pretty fun event. Let me see if I can get this done here. Let's see if I can blow this up. Yeah, okay. So it's going to be a pretty fun event. You can also find this on the Fishing Crew Facebook page. So make sure you check this out. We're going to let you guys listen to this. This is going to be pretty cool.
What we're going to do is even better than anything that I could have ever expected.
A few weeks ago, I flew to South Dakota and met a man named Ben Doty.
What's up, brother? Good. How about you? Good to meet you, man. How are you doing? Good. I got your camera on here.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to South Dakota.
That's right.
Ben had watched a video of our Making Memories hunt down in Alabama.
I really deer hunting. You love deer hunting?
Ben let us know he'd get his hands on a ton of hunting property in South Dakota. So it was time for me to fly out there and just check it out. We had lots of work to do, though. South Dakota is a draw state. But first, we needed to find a place to stay. That's where we found Brad and Jerry Donald.
Brad.
I'm Logan.
Logan, how are you?
I'm good. Good. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you guys too.
Yeah.
Brad and Jerry own the High Points Hunting Lodge in Pierre, South Dakota. This place has 15 bedrooms and 30 queen beds, and plenty of room for activities with the giant great room.
Another party.
Brad and Jerry heard our heartbeat and without any hesitation decided they wanted to help us out.
There's the walleyes that we pull out of the lake.
Yeah.
And that's when the idea hit us. His house is right next to Lake Oahe. Cue the fishing crew. Brad and Ben told me about a guy named Curt Underhill who owns and operates the fishing crew. Curt puts on professional walleye tournaments all over the country. Wait a minute. What happened to hunting? Well, Ben and I went to South Dakota's game fish and parks, but we struck out. There are no tags available for us to purchase.
We found out that it's going to be difficult. That's all, right?
You remember me saying South Dakota was a draw state? It's going to take us 3 years to draw tags for our hunters.
Free tags
out of the question for this fall.
Yesterday was
So in the meantime,
65.
we're going to do a walleye tournament and a prairie dog hunt. Anyway, so we got some work to do. But until then, we're going to have fun shooting some prairie dogs and catching some walleye. And they'll love it. So.
That's cool. That's really awesome.
Yeah. I'm so pumped to be a part of that event. It's going to be so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that is really cool.
Yeah.
So that's something they stumbled across. You didn't meet them. They stumbled across you.
Yep. Ben Doty saw their video online. I know Ben pretty well. And then they called, and Logan with the Battle Branch boys called me and said, hey, we want to do this. Would you be interested in doing it? It's going to be June 8th, 9th, and 10th in Pierre. And sounds like they're bringing 15 to 20 people with them. And it's going to be an absolute blast. It's going to be on the Battle Branches Facebook and YouTubes, and we're going to be sharing stuff going on with it. It's going to be an epic thing. I want to put this thing on, like, you know, we kind of talked like we want this to be their Bassmaster Classic.
Oh yeah, right.
And go check out the Battle Branch boys stuff if you want to see some kick-ass videos. And they said, you know, these kids get so jacked up. I mean, they can shoot a 20-pound doe down in Alabama, and you'd think they shot the world record.
Really?
So, it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's pretty cool. Hang on. Sorry,
I got a little peanut butter. We got a bunch of comments in here, so
hey, let them go.
It's going to be a busy summer for tournaments, 100%. Old Nick Fostness, he won an award one year at our tournament for the sweatiest fisherman.
Oh, that's a good award to win right there.
He literally, I got a trophy from Jerome Beverage that was like a bass on top of a Keystone can. They said, just do something with this trophy. And I gave it to Nick for being the sweatiest fisherman.
Okay, so do you have to be really swassy to win that? Or how does that work?
It was a bad one. It was hot that year. Eric Brandwright, good seeing you, buddy. And then Bryce, absolutely reach out to me, buddy. We'll get you involved in that thing. Excellent. And then we got one from Trapper. He'll still be around doing some pre-fishing, hanging around the Wayans and Mobridge and two Green Bays, just not 10-day stretch at a time. Yeah, that's the problem with it. So it's not for it's tough for a working guy to get out and go do those events. So, but yeah, it's going to be a busy summer. Cannot wait. From what I'm hearing, the fishing on Francis Case is incredible right now. The fish are healthy. Pretty easy limits from what I was hearing. I'm sure this weather is going to play into it. I looked at the weather forecast for next weekend, which we all know changes by the minute. But it's looking to be decent days, Saturday and Sunday for down in Chamberlain next weekend. So can't wait. Let's get this little snow stent over us and let's put it behind us. And then, it's going to be, Zell, can't wait for the cup. I hear you, buddy. And I'm sure you're heading to Lake Erie here pretty soon. So good luck if you're not already on your way. But yeah, it's going to be a very interesting season for not only the fishing crew, but the NWT with their big changes coming with that, last year that anybody can jump in. Sounds like Lake Erie has a ton of pros signed up, and they were looking for co's earlier last week and this week.
That was my next question. Did you hear that there was a lack of co's?
Yeah, I've heard lack of
really. So actually, it's to be positive about it. There is a large number of pros. That's not what I wanted. That's not how I wanted to say it. But because there are a ton of pros, they need more co's.
Yeah.
Instead of I have seen it on Facebook. Not that I look anymore after I quit doing this. I've just kind of been laying whatever. But I've noticed the negative. National Walleye Tour is short co's. Well, okay, because there's an abundance of co's. So I guess it's a good thing, right? Because they want their 125 boats this year, don't they?
I think they want whatever. I mean, 125 has been their magic number, which they struggled on last year. So hopefully this rebounds it. Hopefully, the circuit can rebound. It's a great thing. I love the National Wide Trail all the way back to the PWT days. Trapper says he thinks there's a lot of codes from last year making the switch to pros. That's what he's been hearing. So I know a couple of them that did. There's a couple.
Right.
Damon did. So we know that for sure because he was on the show talking about it. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a great season. That Mobridge event is going to be interesting.
Yeah, it really is going to be.
It's going to be interesting. I talked to a guy that fished 2 weeks ago in the Cheyenne, did very well. Went last weekend, didn't do very good. Went north and did very good. So fish are healthy. They're fat. I mean, they're all pre-spawn, so they're obviously weighing better than they're going to come May, June, July. But there's a ton of fish in our system. And, the gizzard shad died off this winter. There's a big die-off, but I'm still hearing tons of bait balls on Lake Oahe.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've heard that the fish are nice up in this area, Akaska North. And the bait's ridiculous. Again, and I wonder what that's going to do to the season. I really wonder. Maybe it's not going to wreak havoc with the bouncer crank guys, but those that are digging deep for big walleye, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I'm just really curious to find out. I've been itching to get my boat out because we haven't had ice for a month and a half. Take a month maybe 3 weeks. But then, Mother Nature says, well, instead of giving rain, I'm going to snow for a while. I'm going to get cold, and then I'm going to get, so it's summer 3 days ago, 80 degrees, 77 degrees, and then it's 37 here today, and then tomorrow, whatever. And then I think we're supposed to get 9 to 16 inches of snow, or 12 to 18 is the last I saw.
Yeah.
So, who knows? And that's coming on Friday, and it'll melt fast, whatever. It's not that big a deal. I just really wanted to get in on some post-spawn trolling. I really did. I really wanted to work.
Post-spawn or pre-spawn?
I'm sorry, pre-spawn. Did I say post-spawn? I mean, I meant pre-spawn. Yeah, I really wanted
for that, bud.
Oh yeah. We've got all summer for that. No, pre-spawn. I'm sorry. Thank you for correcting me. I was really hoping to spend some time with the Garmin, working on points and inside turns and things, and leaving deep water alone, obviously, because these fish are going to be shallow. And I just wanted to learn a whole something new. Trolling, what's that? It's kind of funny. I know we all went away from trolling, but there's just a ton of people that are catching fish trolling still. So, and whatever, that goes without saying. That'll never change. Their Cade's got that one too. Yeah, no, right. I mean, and here's the thing. I decided I was going to do some trolling. I don't know that I'll pull cranks. I think I may pull some bouncers just for giggles, because this is all brand new water for me, right? I mean, the whole thing, north of the Morrow, all the way up to Pollock, it's all brand new. I don't know the shorelines. I don't know where the fish are spawning. I don't know anything. So my big thing was to get in the boat and to cruise shoreline. I'd like to haul up to Pollock. I'd like to work that kennel area up there, and the east side and the west side, and that whole night. And there's still going to be plenty of time for that. But here's the thing that gets in my way now. We've got a couple tournaments in April, so now that's 2 weekends out. Yes. Matter of fact, yeah. I mean, it's a great sandwich to bring along. Even that grilled peanut butter and bologna sandwich that I just ate in front of you. Sorry, I'm not wasting a good peanut butter and bologna sandwich on an audience. They can watch me eat. That's fine. But even that cold is still good. It's better than some other sandwiches, especially something with mayonnaise on it.
So we do have a comment about the National Walleye Trail here. One bad move they made about 5 years back was a guaranteed entry for pro co sign up together. So they got rid of that. You used to be able to sign up your co-angler with you, then they got rid of that. And Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I mean, I think it was because the same codes were getting signed up and they wanted some new ones. So I kind of understood. I kind of understood the time, but at the same time, if Drew Schutz is leaving Pier and he can get a buddy that wants a guaranteed co-spot, he can sign up with them, go out there, practice with them, and then get in the tournament. Because it was guaranteed. Now it's not. Right. If they get 125 pros and they get 126 co's, one co goes home.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, I don't know personally from my standpoint, which is right here, on this side of the TV screen, right, watching. As a fan, I could care less how they do it. I don't care if they bring co's or not. Get to cranking. Yeah, you know what, Brian? Honestly, here's my deal. The reason I wanna pull bouncers up here is because it's all brand new, and I want to feel the bottom. I want to know what the hell it's all about. Yes, Andrew. That's all I eat is peanut butter sandwiches. I will be eating them next weekend. They won't be grilled because I don't know that I'll have a way to grill them. If we have a way to grill them, we will. Okay, if we have a way to grill them, I'll grill them then. So we'll go to town and get a non-gluten free loaf of bread, and we'll make some real ones, and go from there. But Brian, you're right. I mean, cranking is. I love to crank. I really do. Matter of fact, I have a number of money badgers that I got from Dan Spengler, the shallow, and the deeper, and I really want to pull them behind my boat really bad. Oh yeah, I'm full of baloney, all right. There's no doubt about it.
Exactly.
No, honestly, no. The baloney makes all the sense. It lubricates. It's like, you know what I mean? I mean everything comes out better. Everything is better with baloney. But no, so yeah, I want to try it all. But seriously, somebody's got to agree with me when you're fishing a new body of water, new shoreline. The best way to know the bottom is to feel it through a bottom bouncer, right? I mean, I just. There's just no better way to know it and understand it. I wouldn't know the Morrow down to Parker Pascal, I guess, for the most part, like I do if I wouldn't have pulled a ton of bouncers. Because I just, what's there. You can see it. But, yeah, isn't that the truth? Oahe is a troller's paradise. The things you can catch. And
yeah, I mean, I love cranking. I mean, that was my go-to game before this forward-facing sonar thing. I mean, that was my favorite thing to do. Now I like watching them and casting at them too. But,
yeah,
I mean, these events, you don't see troll. This new forward-facing game, which I love. I'm not bashing it. I love it. It's so much fun to watch these guys do it. And with that, we don't know who the pros are, which kind of, I don't know when their deadline ends to sign up. It's got to be this week. It had to be this week sometime. Mm-hmm. I'd like to see that list and be able to have some fun and pick who we think's going to win. Who do we think's going to win the first National Walleye Trail event on Lake Erie?
Yeah, I would love to be able to do that. Hang on. I think I get the Masters Walleye Circuit stuff. I don't get National Walleye Tour sign up. And frankly, I don't know how I got the Masters Walleye Circuit either, but I get it. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess I can't look and tell you what the deadline is because that one obviously is.
Last Friday, the 27th. Thanks, Brian. Okay. I figured viewers would know that date. So, yeah. So, I mean, it'd be nice to know who's out there going to fish it. And, I know Brian's going to be there. We know Zell's going to be there. We know Bo is already there. Chad, Garrick McCumsey's making a reappearance on the National Walleye Trail. That's going to be fun to watch. The Shillings and McCumsey out there. Chad told us, them two are going to be the first ones there and the first ones home on the race. And let's see here. Trapper thinks it's going to be a sprinkle year.
Corey's here. Well, I was just thinking about that. There are a ton of standbys, right?
Yeah, I would be all in on sports betting on walleye tournaments.
Yeah, okay,
If
that's
it did
good.
like fantasy bass this year would be bad. My AI thing has quit working.
Yeah. Oh, it quit working.
Last two events have been terrible for me.
Crashed on you. Yeah. See, that's that's like selling advertising and trying to get all the agency buys. You live by the agency, you die by it. So you live by AI, you die by it as well. But you think about, so let's run some of the old, the standby, the big names. Of course, Tom Wynn could win anytime, right? You got to bring up Max. Max could win. You've got Jacob L. Good Lord.
Chase Parsons, Tommy Emos.
Right. I mean, right. You just start throwing new names, old names, and you got Jaden Wendell. He's you can't.
Please do.
Yes, please. That would be a ton of fun. I honestly tried to figure out how to do it when we were working on a different type of tournament, and I thought I could pull it off, but it wouldn't have been what we're used to.
Goes to invite only, and they get the same pros at every event. We can put a fantasy together, right? It probably won't be as advanced as Bassmasters with all the points for each day, but you could put a fantasy walleye thing together.
Yep.
How many people play fantasy bass fishing, and half the people that watch our show don't even do it because it's not walleyes. Now, how many? I mean, you'd probably have 5,000-10,000 people playing your game.
Yeah, that's very true. But here's the thing: a primitive walleye fantasy league would be better than any best Bassmaster app you could ever get. I'll take the primitive. I'll do it like we used to do fantasy football on paper. Yeah. And you got to go down to the gas station because that's where you leave your stuff with, right? I mean, you could do it with Google, with a Google sheet or whatever it happens to be, but it could be done. I mean, it'd be a ton of fun. I wonder if this year is going to be the year of surprises or of I don't want to be mean in talking dark horse up or upset, but could somebody from the middle of the pack who's been doing it win this year? Win win Lake Erie? Because anybody can win Lake Erie, right? I mean, anybody
Lake
can.
Erie's so full of 4 to 6 pounders. It's hard to find you got to break out and find those bigger ones out there. I mean, it's so hard to find, that's the hard part is, like I was talking to Bo and he's like, it's so full of 4 to 6 pounders. Like, you got to find the big ones though, because they're not the big ones out there. So yeah. And then they school together and they move, and, Lake Erie's it's a great place to go catch tons of numbers of fish. It's got to be a little different, putting a mindset together for a game plan to fish a tournament there.
Well, yeah, because you're going to throw back 4 and 5 pounders because you frankly have to keep as many sixers as you possibly can, right? I mean, that's at this point, from what we hear, that's the name of the game. And, I don't know, I guess it can be done. I just can't wait till it starts. I don't know why I'm so excited. It's probably because of Bo. And it's probably because of Jaden Wendell. It's because of Chad. I keep thinking about Chad Schilling and all the experience and everything that he has in the past winning, and now all the changes and things, and boom. Oh, you can call on Lake Erie.
Yes, so that's a big game changer too. So,
thanks, Brian. Yeah, So, okay, that does change the game. I mean, that changes the game a lot, right? So, I don't know. I know there's just some exciting people to watch. You got to keep your eye on Tom Wynn, because does he keep this thing rolling? Does he keep it? Does he keep it going? I've become a Hunter Nitty fan. There's a draw. There's something about him that is cool. My mind and everything's changing on Max Wilson. you know, a little down on the stuff that went on, you know, but whatever, forgot about it, don't remember it. The guy can just catch massive big fish. You know, he's grown up a little bit, he's matured a little bit, he's better in the boat. And you know, he's got possibilities. But then there's, you know, how about Hoyer? Hoyer's kind of quiet last year. You know, what's Hoyer's year like this year?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a real interesting year, and I think there's so many new guys busting into the seams, you know, from, you know, Damon and all those guys.
Yeah.
You know,
it'd be fun to see one of those guys just blow it up too. Scopers and trollers.
So, I mean, what's everybody's bet? Scopers or trollers at Erie? I'm going to say Scopers. I mean, it's crazy. I would never would have said that a few years ago, but I mean, it depends. If it's rough as shit. But now with the you know, the power brakes on the back and the surge pulls and everything, I mean, how many guys are you seeing that do not have a kicker on their boat now?
Right.
You know,
here again, you know, that's something that people don't bitch about, right? Think about the electronic technology, the power electronics, right? So you go back to 2013 when we all first got our spot lock, right? Humminbird, and it was 2013 for me. Maybe it was out a couple of years earlier, but I think the spot lock thing came along with the Tarova. And
you don't know the days of the old pinpoints,
right? Yeah, the old, like the co-pilot, you know, and all that stuff, right? But so you had that technology, and you know, you're doing this the whole time. Your boat's not your boat's just all over. You can't vertical jig worth of crap. And now all of a sudden you're locked on a spot and you're not moving. 100% scopers, Trapper says. Not many guys as good as Win, working bad weather and wind for boat control. Yeah, I get you there. You know what? That's kind of, I had Bashor's name in the back of my mind, and that's part of what I didn't want to be negative about it, you know, because Brian's been in the middle of the pack, so to speak, right? And he's been steady. So, you know, is this the year that he just blows up? Well, there we go. Yeah, right. You know, at least he thinks he's gonna. No, I mean, what the hell, Brian? Go out and win the thing. You know.
Yeah, I mean, he's always right there. I mean, middle. You know, he's never bottom. You know, he's just it's just going to be. I always tell all the fishermen, like, when it's your day, it's your day. When it's your time to win a tournament, it's your time. You can't do nothing wrong. Everything comes in the right order. Everything goes together. You might have a dumpster fire during the middle of the day, but everything comes together. Yeah. You know, it's like when Chris Haynes finally won the Gov Cup that year. I wouldn't go that far, Brian. You know, that year Chris Haynes won the Gov Cup, you know, he was bridesmaid, second, thirds, fourth. And he was just so frustrated. And I said, when it's your time, it's your time. And he came up to me after he won the Gov Cup and he goes, "You were not kidding. It was my time."
And isn't it something how you hear that from a lot of people? Let's see what Jordan says here. Ready for a fun weekend, seeing Chamberlain. Yeah, no doubt. Seeing Chamberlain, even if it's in a snowsuit, in a nice suit. I mean, whatever that I guess would be bringing it along anyway. But I think that's the deal. You know,
it's going to be this year's going to be an interesting one. I mean, from, you know, weather changing and the fishing in the Missouri River systems are going to be great for us. You know, that, like I said, that NWT on Erie is going to be a fun one. If, you know, weather's always a big factor, wind's always a big factor on Lake Erie. And then they come to Mobridge. I'm so intrigued by the Mobridge event that time of year. It could be really good or it could be really tough.
Right, because we're talking, is it 12, 13, 14? You oh, God, no, it's 16, 17, 18.
Yep.
So, yeah, we're going to be, I would hope we're at least 2 weeks. Yeah, we'd be 2 weeks past spawn, right? I mean, it's going to be, they're going to rest and they're going to be back eating and hungry, and it's going to be a good tournament.
You know, I heard water temp is going to be is a lot warmer right now. It's in the high 40s in some of the creeks and stuff, and in the main channel, yeah, it's getting up there. So, yeah, and like Brian said, lots of live streams as well this year. Me and Tom for sure will be live streaming 100%. Tons of pressure leading up to Mobridge. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I think it's going to be one of those events that, and Brian, you guys have a boundary on Mobridge, right? You guys have boundaries on your events this year. I heard it's 212 bridge. Is that correct? Maybe that's just a rumor, but I've heard there's a boundary on Mobridge, which, old Chase Parsons loves to make the run to Peoria Flats from Mobridge.
That's a long drive, man.
So
I get it.
He's done it quite a bit. So, and then Dave says the Casino Cup's the weekend before.
Right. So that will be a good indicator. That will give us a pretty good shot of what the National Walleye Tour is going to look like the next weekend. Then.
Well, it's not even the next weekend. So I believe that event's Thursday because of free fishing weekend. So that's going to be a midday tournament. So you're going to have a Saturday tournament for the Casino Cup, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday they take off for the NWT. So it's 3 days difference. It's going to be a tough deal. Trapper says as small as Parsons is no wonder that boat can fly. Yeah. Yeah. Choney says Jake Kahi. Yeah, Jake Kahi's going to be. I mean, there's so many guys this year, and it's going to be interesting if they can continue to draw these numbers and they take the top cut out of it to move on to next year. What the next year season looks like, I think it's a right progression.
Mm-hmm.
I think I like right progression. I hope they build the feeder system up a little better. I think they need more options for a feeder system. There's some very good guys that, fish local stuff, that fish some big local events that if they had the, and maybe they wouldn't move up. I don't know. I think they need to really see how that feeder system looks. And I mean, I'd really like to know more stuff. And my biggest question is, what's entry fees going to be in 27 for that event?
Yeah, with only 60.
What is what's that?
With only 60, yeah, right. Yeah. It's going to be, because what is it right now?
2,000 for a pro. Yep. I mean, so what's the entry fee going to be? That's going to, I wish they'd put that out now because that would, give some guys some insight, and maybe they're still working numbers, sponsor deals. Who knows what that looks like? But, that's going to be a real interesting factor of, yeah, you make the top 50 or whatever they're taking out of the NWT. I wish I had numbers in front of me. Zell, you're saying 2K, it's going to stay for 27. I know it's 2K for this year.
It's got to go up. There's no way it can stay at 2K, can it?
I don't know. You don't have the dollars there. At some point, the math doesn't math.
Yeah, right.
The math doesn't math unless they have more sponsors come in. And, I've heard the statement that Johnny Morris is going to throw more money at it. Well, he can do that right now at 125 boats, and maybe he will. I don't know. I'm just speaking out of, way I look at it is, 2K this year, Zell said. Yep. Yeah, okay. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it's going to go up. So you make the top, say it's 50 that you have to, top 56, the rules say. So top 56 and they take entry fees to $5,000. Does that change the game for people?
Well, think about the cost there, right? If it's 2,000 with 120 boats, 60 boats, it's $4,000, right? Yeah. So yeah, somewhere in that $4,000 to $5,000 range makes sense if they want to play with. I'm sorry, I my eye itches. Okay, I'm good.
Too much preparation in it.
I was going to do something else, and I thought, that would be immature and distasteful. So, with lack of decorum, I decided that I just had to itch my eye. And frankly, I had to itch my eye aggressively.
And gas.
I had gas at 5 1/4. Yeah, no kidding.
We won't get an answer till about 20.
Oh, sure, because they said this year was going to be a learning year, and they were going to assess throughout the year. So, okay, and honestly, you know what, Brian? That's right. The 3 to 4K thing. Yeah, 5K is nuts, right? But the 3 to 4K, okay. So Brian, are you willing to pay $3,500? Mike, are you willing to pay $3,500? Are you willing to do that? I'm curious. Let's let the National Walleye Tour know what you think.
That's a lot of working man cash to rip. Yeah, I mean, and and maybe hopefully with them allowing more live stream that gets guys to get more sponsor dollars to come in to offset it. I mean, there's a lot of questions until you know. I think, like I said, they got to work out the details. That's a big change, a lot of moving parts. I think there's going to be, I think it's a good change, and but the money's going to come down to it, right? I mean, the elite, you're not the Elite Series, and wish you were. Yeah, like I said, depends on payouts, media coverage, and sponsor opportunities. Yeah, 100%. If you guys get more live streams and they can tap into them and do stuff with that, I think that's all a great thing. I would let anybody live stream that wants to live stream and talk with us, and we can tap into stuff. I would let them do it in my tournament in a heartbeat. It was, Trapper's got a great question or great comment. I'm hoping that a 27 smaller field, they'll put them on waters that ain't the Great Lakes or big river systems. Get some of them smaller. Yeah, I mean, you can go to a lot smaller waters, but we've watched with the championship last couple of years. It hasn't been on smaller waters with 40 boats. Mm-hmm. You can put on a lot smaller waters, and Minnesota's getting to be a stickler with fish. You look at the MTT, they only do fish. They're doing Fishing Chaos now. Maybe that's what the NWT is going to next year, because I know Fishing Chaos is a factor this year. Are they going to go to no fish across the scale? I don't know. Maybe they are. I don't know, but I know they're using that, and that's going to be cool. I hope all the pros use that this year so we can follow along and see leaderboards during the day. I hope we can see that as a viewer. That'll be great.
Yeah, as a viewer, that one. By the way, Minnesota.
I like it in the bass. I kind of dislike it too, because you kind of know. I really like the Classic where they cut it off at 1:00 on the final day. They shut back off.
Yeah,
so you still had some anticipation.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something to be said when some guy pulls up to the dock with, big bags.
Right.
Yeah, like Zell said, smaller waters would be awesome. I think we all want to see that. I think us for South Dakota, we want to see more west. We would love to see one in Montana. Granted, it's a big water.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that would be a killer to tournament. Really, no crowd showing up for no fish weighing. Crowds, really. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm a firm believer that I hate killing them, but I don't want to go to an app. I want to weigh fish across scale. Now, I know that's controversial.
But is it?
But yeah. Or Tom, I know it's controversial to kill fish, but I like fish going across scale. Tom,
I do.
Arkansas. Yeah. PWT back in the day went to Bull Shoals.
Mm-hmm.
Zell 100%. NWT is using no Fishing Chaos to register. I'm guessing fish. Yeah. So they're going to use it for registration. And so, but implying the app should be set up for the NWT. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, you're going to be able to use the app. So, I mean, great on the water, more coverage, more eyeballs. Hopefully that brings more sponsors. I mean, that's all it's about, right? I mean, Brian, you do a good job with your podcast and with what you do on the water. And I'm sure that's helped your sponsors like that when you get more coverage for them. They're all about the clicks. How many clicks do you have? How many clicks do you have? That's what they all want to know. And with that, I mean, by being able to do this, now you've got more content to create. You know, you got more content, you've got more content ability to create. And, you know, that's what everybody wants. They want the content. They want
to go along for the ride, man. I mean, they want to be there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be a good thing. I know a couple guys that, I know a couple guys that are, bolting Starlinks on their boats, even for our stuff. I can't wait,
Yeah. Makes a ton of sense.
So yeah, it's a different, I think it's time, right? I mean, the technology's here. Let's adapt to it and go, And
here's the other cool thing. While we're waiting for any specific entity to get their shit together, guys can go out and do it on their own, right? You don't have to wait for anybody.
Yeah. I mean, Tom, AI is a big factor, right? I mean, clicks are not the same, no, but you can show a number, right? That's the nice thing. Like back in the day when you had a TV show and you said, oh, we have 40 million viewers on network television.
Right.
Or even in your radio gig, right? Like,
right.
Like I've asked you, you say our broadcast area is 20,000 people. Okay. How many people listen? Well, we don't know.
You don't have a clue.
With social media and stuff like that and websites and all that, we know how many people click. And if you dive down into it and you drill down into it like we have been this year, I know where they're coming from. I know their demographic. I mean, there's a lot more to it that you can get out of it to put out there, and it's great. I mean, it's a good thing for everybody. It's a good thing for the sport. And, Tom, you got a young boy that's addicted.
Yeah, right.
You got a young kid that's addicted. We need to addict more of those kids. And I forgot to mention, I saw the Kellers chimed in. We don't only have the Governor's Cup, but we have Lieutenant Governor's Cup. You've been doing that for 2 years, Chasen. That's how crazy is that event with 150 kids out there?
Right.
And they're just
loving it.
I mean, last year it was raining, and I thought for sure we're going to lose them all. We didn't lose any. I was so impressed,
They're going to be hands-on just like Bass does. Yeah. I mean, it's all for the fans, because they've all put a camera up. National Walleye Tour set a camera up. They started doing stuff. Now it's a show, and it's for the fans. Oh yeah, there are 20,000 people listening Thursday mornings at 8:20. No doubt about it. Gene Cox is the celebrity there. We got the town hall talk with the mayor.
Celebrity.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Celebrity. All right. Huh?
But I just think it's such a, we need to adapt. And if we want walleye fishing to keep growing, and I'm not naive, we're never going to be bass. We're never going to be that. There's the population. We don't have the population they have for the
Don't want it to be that way. Don't want it to be that big. Right.
No,
I mean, don't even want it to be half that. If it can be a quarter of the Bassmasters and that quarter's done great, imagine. Walleye has a lot to learn and fast before it's too late. That is so true because this whole thing is going to be left behind, right? Good analytics, good numbers equals money. Money makes things grow. That's true. Yeah, 100%. Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. And if you can dial it in, and Brian, you're really good at that stuff, to dial it in and show sponsors, like it makes it easier for you to go to somebody and ask them for money. It makes the circuit easier when they can say, we had this many people on a live, we had this, and this, here's our traffic, here's where they're coming from, boom. And
well, not only that, those people that you're going to hopefully already know who you are and have an eye on you and basically have been, for lack of a better phrase, been waiting for you, right? Because the sponsors aren't just going to chase you unless you're Tom Wynn winning. If you're
even Tom Wynn winning. Tom went out. He went out and did it with education,
right?
Like went out and did it with education. He took a different approach. It still clicks. It's still what he's doing. He's active on socials. He's got his university. He's adapting to all that stuff. I would say it doesn't hurt that he's winning, but I'd also say he's probably gaining more traction from the sponsors because of what he's doing with education and getting the number of eyeballs he's getting for that stuff.
I agree. I do agree with you.
You know, it really helps that he wins to give some confidence in selling his university, and that helps with sponsors too. But at the end of the day, he's doing more social media and educating people, and that's what it's about. You know, he took a different approach on this.
Well, he's doing what people were looking for and wanting. They wanted to be taught, right? Anglers and sportsmen are going to have to step up on all levels. Yeah, that's very true. You know, all of us, right? Yeah. You know, I mean, frankly, in the interviews, the camera work, the whole 9 yards, it's all, everybody's got to step it up.
Yeah.
Because there are expectations out there now. Because before it was just like, well, holy crap, they got a camera on. We're seeing the deal. Well, now all of a sudden it turns into, well, wait a minute. These other guys are doing this. How come they're not? And so, you know, you got competition, you get compared, and that's fine.
Yeah, winning helps, but as short-term news, building a brand is important and finding your niche 100%.
Yep.
Yeah. Better conversations. I know tonight's not that good, so sorry.
Well, I don't know. We're 51 minutes into it already. 78 comments. Yeah, it's not so bad for two dipsticks talking back and forth with. You know, honestly, you know, we love when everybody's participating. This is the most fun part of doing this is not you and I talking to each other or talking to whoever or having a guest on. It's hearing from people who are watching and being engaged. I mean, this stuff's just great.
Yeah.
Walleye anglers seem to be a different breed. Largemouth down south aren't afraid of publicity. Yep, no doubt. We all know walleye guys are secretive. It's been that way for a long, long time. Do they need to be, you know, secretive? Honestly, I don't know. I'm not one of those guys.
You know, you guys know, we talked before the show, like, you know, we're going on our 3 years of doing this. You know, this is crazy that we're 3 years into this, and now we're getting into some more technical issues like we kind of explained. I think we got most of them worked through, a couple different platforms. We got a couple things going on, but you know, we talk about how we'll have a guest on and we get to 15 minutes and we're like, oh, this is going to be tough to get to, you know, as this concept started for a 3 to 5 minute show, and Chasen told me there ain't no way. And I'm like, well, yeah. And then we decided 15, and then we were, you know, first few episodes were 15 and we were getting off, and they were like, well, whatever they run, then it was 30. Now we're pushing an hour on every show. And we were talking about earlier today, like, you know, the conversation, a lot of times your guys' comments like is like a shot of, you know, nitrous to the show, because boom, we are at 15 minutes, somebody comments something, and next thing you know, we're at 53 minutes, you know. Yeah, 100%. We blurred my face. And nobody's guessed who's on my t-shirt yet, by the way.
Yeah, that, you know what? That's going to be really hard, because
Nacho is. I cannot believe it.
Because I struggled. You really got to put that out there so we can look at it.
Yeah.
Keep it under 2 hours. Here's the thing. I told Curt, I said, you realize that we went from talking for 15 minutes to now you and I are just like, well, we'll go on and talk. But the whole point is to being able to do it for 53 minutes and not feel like we've done it for more than 13 is the participation from you guys. That's the thing you don't get from watching TV at 7 o'clock on CBS or ABC, NBC, whatever, right? Or streaming. You know, you get to participate, you get to be heard, you get to talk. And here's the other thing. A ton of intelligent comments and statements, and not a bunch of stupid, you know, keyboard warrior crap.
I'm trying to get somebody to guess
who you flare out. Yeah, right on. Yeah. You're just going to have to come out and yes, the young guns are the future of the walleye world. I'm very excited to watch young guys this year.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe I'm biased. Maybe I have a serious interest in Jaden Wendell because I met the kid up in North Dakota, and we've had him on the podcast. He's a great kid. And then there's Bo Schilling, same thing. You know, I'm biased because I know Bo, been around him. You know, there are some that aren't, you know, they're not buying what Bo's putting down. And that's just too damn bad because the kid is real and he's been fishing for so long. His knowledge exceeds a ton of us in our 40s, 50s, and 60s. And he's not even 20 yet. All right. What do you got? Yeah, I was waiting for this one. God created bass so everyone could catch fish, majority of the population. Then he created walleyes to separate men from the boys. Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna give the man Curt the run for his money, I think. I'm excited. I you know what, Mike? I agree. There's just something special about Bo, and there's something special about Jaden Wendell, and it's different. That's the crazy thing. They are just, there's a different thing about both of them, and I love it. I love the fact that they're, 19 years old. That's truly amazing. And then there are a ton of other people out there. I'm not gonna be bummed out if somebody doesn't have a great tournament. If somebody wins that I didn't expect to win or didn't want to win, it's not like I don't ever want anybody not to win, but you have your favorites, right? Let's see where this year takes us.
Yeah, I mean it's a new year. There's a new generation. I think what I'm most excited for, it feels like it's probably the year, the longest amount of time that the most new guys, young guys are coming out, right? Like they're ready to jump in and go. Right. I don't feel like we've had this in a long time of this young generation, these younger guys. We had Tom Wynn sneak on the circuit a few years ago. We get onesie twosies, but we've got guys that are just diving in, and then seeing like McCumsey coming back.
Right.
Like if anybody's counting against Garrett McCumsey, I mean, he got behind in the old electronics game.
He's got more in his boat than most will. So
yeah. Well, he got a new boat, and he's got a 92-22 on the bow of it.
Ooh,
I mean, if we start counting live scope transducers, I don't know how many we would count. He might have more than like 4 boats combined on the trail. I don't know, but I mean, he's gonna figure it out. He's a great fisherman. Mac's made it at all levels. He's won FLWs. He's done it for a long time. He took a hiatus and now he's coming back. And then Chad Schilling, Chad told me, he goes, my number one reason's coming out is to show this older generation that if you adapt the technology, you can compete with these young guys.
I agree. I think he's 100%
that's my number one reason, because I don't know it as well as my son, but I know it well. And I'm going to show you can compete with these young guys if you just embrace it and learn it and spend the time with it.
Yeah, and that's the difference, right? Because you've got a ton of people out there that have forward-facing sonar. They use it, don't really know how to use it, whatever it is. And, they're pissing and moaning because some of these guys are out there. So Chad goes out and does it. And now all of a sudden he proves something, right? Yep. Gene grew up in bass country, loved jigging for crappie and shallow creek, stump knockers on cricket and bobber and stuff. Enjoy listening to the walleye stuff. Well, Gene, thank you much. I enjoy listening to you Thursday mornings on 1300 and 101.9 KOLY. You know what I'm saying?
Wrong show.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah. So,
young guys have better eyes. It helps. That's why McCumsey put a 92-22 on the bow of his boat. He said, I don't even need my readers anymore.
Jeez. So, I guess I challenge guys that have the live scope that don't really know how to use it to go out and find why they were catching fish, pulling cranks, or bottom bouncers in the spot that they were. I see Blockett's name. Kids and new anglers are competing with forward-facing sonar. Makes it all interesting. Old dogs are exciting, but sad if the name is Randy Blaucat. Don Nacho, the famous boxer.
Maybe, but no, this we're getting towards the end of the show. So
Yeah.
this Don Nacho is inspired off an original painting or drawing by the legendary Josh Spies of his brother Benny Spies. So this is Benny is now Don Nacho. And if you know Benny, this looks just like him.
Yeah, it honestly, with the mustache, it is. It now everybody's going, oh crap, yeah, he's right. For those that know Benny, right?
I sent Benny a picture before the show of the shirt, and he said, F yeah, Nacho approves.
Yes, done it.
So, well,
that's
guys,
way too
I
cool.
mean, thank you all for sticking around for an hour. I mean, shit, we carried great numbers through the whole thing, and we really appreciate you guys. And we've worked through our technical difficulties. I think we're going to be good to go. Continue this thing to go ahead, and I wasn't going to back down. I was going to find a way to make this show continue because I love doing it and I love interacting with every one of you guys each and every week. And I think Chasen feels the same way.
Be careful what you wish for.
Oh, here we go. Next week.
There we go. Good night. Good luck to all the NW. No doubt about it. Hey, and thanks for watching me eat my sandwich. I appreciate that. By the way, it's grilled peanut butter and bologna. Try it sometime.
Don't. That's an April Fool joke. That's an April Fool.
Right. Happy April Fools. Tony, thank you much. No kidding. Go Shillings. Can't wait till next Wednesday. Oh boy. What is next Wednesday going to be like? Whew. Hey, we're going to have to all have Benny t-shirts. All right, my friends. Thank you.